up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Voice of Reason. We got a great show lined up for you today. We are going to talk about how the recent hearings in Congress were a complete disaster, where Kristi Noem ended up just walking out.
It's getting ugly.
Yeah, right. They were asking questions about Antifa, which I thought were absolutely hilarious. I got a couple clips of that. We're
The
also
Nazis
going-
don't like being put under the microscope. Let's just say
it's
that.
Their answers are hilarious because apparently we are the number one threat to the United States. We are the most, not any foreign country. Antifa, a made up imaginary organization. That's what they're going after. Okay, great.
That's
Sure,
about
whatever.
right. That tracks.
There were some protesters at the event. I have some highlights from the Kristi Noem being questioned. Donald Trump has bailed out big agra, not your mom and pop farms. So, of course, the industrial farmers are all thanking Donald Trump for bailing them out, even though he is the reason that they needed a bailout in the first place. We're also going to talk about how Barron Trump, the heir apparent to Donald Trump, because let's be honest, Eric and what Don Jr. are kind of a lost cause.
One's allegedly a fan of snowflakes, and the other one is dumber than rocks.
Right, we literally call Eric Trump the dumb one.
Yeah, the dumb one.
You're right.
The dumb.
We all know misogynists won't let a woman run their empire, so we're looking at Barron Trump. But Barron Trump apparently is equally as shitty as the rest of his family because he's taking dating advice from none other than Andrew Tate.
Yay!
You know what's funny about this whole Andrew Tate thing? MAGA in my social media comments, they seem to think that he was acquitted of all charges. I'm like, no, he literally had Donald Trump pull strings to get him out of Romania, then flew him on a private plane, probably at taxpayer expense.
Those charges are still pending because he was removed from the country by our president.
Right. So
nothing was resolved.
It's been reported that Barron Trump looks at Andrew Tate as a big brother type figure, a sex trafficker, rapist, and abuser of women.
Misogynistic.
That's what Andrew Tate
piece
is.
Of garbage.
He is a piece of shit. And then, of course, Donald Trump took another taxpayer trip, this time to the RV Navy game, where he showed everybody that he can't even do a coin toss properly.
Look, that's one of those things where, like, we have better things to do with our time than make fun of that. But at the same time, how are you so desperately out of touch with reality? Like, how sheltered were you as a human growing up that you don't even know how to flip a coin?
Oh, my God. He can't even act
flip
human.
A coin.
It's hilarious. We're also going to, of course, be talking about the newly released photos from the Epstein estate, which are weird, to say the least. There's one glove in particular. I don't know if you have a picture of the glove. You do have a picture of the glove. Let me just pull this up real quick. We're going to be talking about this stuff. Yeah. It kind of makes you wonder, has that glove been up Donald Trump's ass?
Oh.
Because that is what that is for.
No.
And the whole massage system is just...
Well, that's to get to the prostate.
Bro.
That's to get to the prostate.
I'm happy we're seeing how disgusting some of these rich people are. It's like you have everything in the world, and now that, like, children, that's where you went with that. Like, you could have anything in the world that you ever want.
Why?
You decide, I want kids.
It really is telling, because psychologically speaking, it's all about the power. And if there's anything rich people worship more than money is power.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of money, right? It's not that they want the money itself. They want the ability to just be above everyone else and do whatever comes to their mind.
Yeah.
So the fact that they systematically target children is just a perfect metaphor for these power-hungry, despicable monsters.
Yeah, and it's not just Donald Trump and Republicans. It's a lot of high-profile people, very powerful Hollywood people. But it just shows you how the depravity of how just low a human being can go.
Oh, yeah.
Because this was their thing. You know what I'm saying? This was their thing. It's just, ugh. It truly is disgusting. So let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about the hearing from hell. There's no other way to describe this.
My God.
It was a complete disaster for the Trump administration. They questioned Kristi Noem as well as other people from DHS. We know now that DHS is run by a certain other country that we cannot name, or this video will get no views, and has been run by them since
It
2000.
rhymes with Schmizreal.
Right, rhymes with Schmizreal. They've been running, and I've said on this show that DHS Twitter feed is the most racist place on the internet. They are the ones that posted. All right, remember when they posted just one word? It was remigrate, and we talked about it on this show.
Yep.
This is before we knew who was running DHS's Twitter. So the country that is actively committing an ethnic cleansing posted the word remigrate on an American government, U.S. government Twitter feed. How does that not go? So they're actively committing an ethnic cleansing, and then they're on our social media talking about doing the same thing here. I think people need to pay attention to stuff like that, because
I don't think people care anymore. I like, where are we? Are we at a point where have we segregated between the people that can give a shit and the people that can't? Because in the past few months, we've seen so many MAGA finally waking up. Now, a lot of them are waking up for reasons that are especially selfish and self-serving, and I understand that. But the people that are left that are still defending Donald Trump and this regime are either bots or they are the most despicable humans left in this country.
Right. Well,
I don't know which it is.
I had a woman. This is what kills me. I had a woman in my comments on Facebook defending this Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I'm like, how do you like, to me, you have no self-respect. Like, are you really going to sit in my comments with your face on your Facebook page, like your profile page shows who you are, and defend this kind of behavior? Like, how disgusting are you?
Oh, no,
how
Brina,
depraved
really?
are you? It is truly mind-boggling the amount of people that are willing to defend pedos. It truly blows me away. It really does. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about the hearing first. First, I want to play one of these clips. I don't know who the gentleman is asking the questions, but it's hilarious to watch the Trump administration and DHS answer questions about Antifa. Because, again, Antifa is not real. We are all...
Antifa is an opinion. Right, it's not an organization.
Right, it's an ideology. Like, being against fascism, that's Antifa. So being against Nazis, that's Antifa. So, yes, Mike and I are proud Antifa members.
Absolutely.
If that's the way you want to put it. We are also apparently domestic terrorists.
Hey, the good thing is
America's greatest threat.
If there's one thing I could say for belonging to Antifa is they don't collect any dues. So this is not a for-profit scheme.
Right. They don't pay well either.
Yeah, they don't pay well. So.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and play this clip real quick. Just watch how they haven't even, like, you would think if you came up with this entire imaginary terrorist organization, you would at least make up bullshit lies about the organization, but they never even got that far. Just watch this.
Executive Board of Domestic Terrorist Organization, Antifa. That's our primary concern right now.
All right, that's what President Trump did. What does the FBI say?
We share the same view. When you look at the data right now, you look at the domestic terrorist threat that we're facing, right now, what I see from my position is that's the most immediate violent threat that we're facing on the domestic side.
So where is Antifa headquartered?
What we're doing right now with the organization.
Where in the United States does Antifa exist? If it's a terrorist organization and you've identified it as number one.
We are building out the infrastructure right now.
So what does that mean? We're trying to get the information. You say Antifa is a terrorist organization. Tell us as a committee, how did you come to that? Where do they exist? How many members do they have in the United States as of right now?
Well, that's very fluid. It's ongoing for us to understand that.
No, we don't really have an answer to that. I mean, look,
it's fluid. It's
we
ongoing.
know that they are trying to build this internal enemy so that they can push their fascism out into the streets, right? Because what they need is a scapegoat or an enemy or something that they can use to make sure that troops on the street are welcomed by the brainless in this
Right.
country. They know that there is a large contingent of Americans who are very happy to see soldiers on the streets as long as it's going against what they perceive as American enemies. But the fact is, being Antifa, by definition, you can't be an enemy of the American people.
No.
You can't be an enemy of the United States if you are anti-fascist.
Right.
So the fact that they're being asked in committee hearings to identify even the slightest bit of evidence that Antifa exists and is a terrorist organization, and they cannot, it's fluid. You're there to tell people that this group is a threat. Right. You don't think if they had the slightest bit of evidence, they would have presented it to be like, look, see, committee, we have proof. They don't have proof because it's not a real thing.
No.
Stop.
Yeah. Where's it headquartered? Just let me dead silent. Like, how did you walk into that committee hearing so unprepared to answer questions? Is I guess
because they're shameless. They are finding these people that are willing to debase themselves so that they can get what they perceive as a seat in the new empire.
Yep.
Okay, they are trying to build the United States into a fascist Christian nationalist utopia, and you know who's in the way of that? Anti-fascist Americans, patriots, people who are standing up for democracy and freedom of speech.
Yeah. It's just like the whole thing that what's her name is doing right now, Eric Kirk, that whole book tour, which me and James will be talking about tomorrow. That drives me nuts, man, because that's what they're doing. She's on tour to try and get TPUSA into every public school in the United States.
Hey, Texas is already doing it. Texas has said they will have it everywhere.
Adopted it. Yeah, some states are already adopting Turning Point USA's ideology. Again, public schools. We talk about this all the time. Public schools are under threat. Kids are under threat. They are targeting children.
Knowledge is under threat.
Demon.
Intelligence is under threat. Intellectualism is under threat. Logic is under a threat. Critical thinking is under threat. They don't want fascism does not function if a population is capable of thinking rationally, because the whole way fascism works is by forcing irrational fear onto a population where that losing security or losing self identification is more important than being unified. And we are Americans. Our individuality doesn't matter, but we are all good little Americans. That's what they want. They don't want individuality. They don't want dissent. They don't want you to question what they're doing.
Not at all.
So they're making up an enemy an enemy that is just an opinion.
Right.
The opinion that fascism is wrong.
Here's more of that interaction that we were just watching. This is just so good.
I'll ask one question, sir. I just want you to tell us. If you said Antifa is the #1 domestic terrorist organization operating in the United States, I just need to know where they are, how many people. I don't want a name. I don't want anything like that. Just how many people have you identified with the FBI that Antifa is made of?
Well, the investigations are active.
Sir, you wouldn't come to this committee and say something you can't prove. I know you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you would.
But you did.
Benny Thompson, man. Benny Thompson knows how to just stick the nail in.
Yeah, he's like, you came here and said something that you cannot prove. Which is exactly the case. They cannot prove how many people are, there's millions. They're making a list of us. That's how crazy this has become. They're making a list of anybody that is not pro-Trump. So if you've ever said anything negative about Donald Trump ever in your entire life, you're on some kind of list. Yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Can't stand it. But this is the world that we live in. Oh, did you hear about the whole TikTok deal? Is complete bullshit.
What?
There's no TikTok deal. There is no TikTok deal.
I thought someone was buying it around this time.
There is no TikTok deal. That was fucking all bullshit. The BBC just uncovered it all. The whole TikTok deal was just propaganda, bro. We are not buying TikTok. Apparently, there was never a deal. Like, that's the crazy shit we're
well, the art of the deal is just say whatever you want and hope it works out, I guess.
This guy's a moron. Like, he tore down a third of the White House with no, They didn't even have any solid plans on what they were going to do, like legitimate blueprints, that you need to build a building. And then I guess when the guy went to him and was like, I can't do all this, he fired him. And now we don't even know who's building the White House that was torn down. Like a third of it is gone. Forever gone. And now we don't even know if there's going to be a ballroom at this point. Essentially, it was just kickbacks from all the wealthy for all the government contracts they received. So, yeah, they did not donate out of the kindness of their hearts. Man, the corruption is just ridiculous. And the stupidity is mind-numbing. But, all right, so let's move on to Kristi Noem, because she got hammered at this hearing. This video is about a minute and a half long, but it gives you some highlights from the hearing that are pretty good.
I'm looking forward to discussing the worldwide threats that this country faces and the work that President Trump and his administration does each and every day to make America safe again. I'm very privileged and honored today to have my family with me. I'd like to introduce them to you.
We are joined on Zoom by a gentleman named Se-Jun Park. He is a United States Army combat veteran who was shot twice while serving our country in Panama in 1989. Like many veterans, he struggled with PTSD and substance abuse after his service. He was arrested in the 1990s for some minor drug offenses, nothing serious. He never hurt anyone besides himself, and he's been clean and sober for 14 years. Earlier this year, you deported him to Korea, a country he hasn't lived in since he was 7 years old.
You lied on the record, and you lied to members of this committee. You violated court orders by not turning around deportation flights bound for El Salvador, where we know that hundreds of people under your leadership have reported that they were raped, they were beaten, and they nearly died. And your agents used chemical weapons in Chicago despite court orders from District Court Judge Ellis forbidding their use. Your options are limited. Either you're going to resign, Trump's going to fire you, or you will be impeached. I've already called for your resignation. You may remember I hand-delivered my request to you back in May, and I urge you to reconsider resignation because I've taken the first step towards your impeachment, and I've called on the Judiciary Committee to open an investigation into your lawlessness.
So what I want to point out is when the one person was talking about the guy, the service member that was on the Zoom call, right before that, they asked Kristi Noem and said, have you ever deported a veteran of the United States Armed Forces? And she said, absolutely not. And then immediately he goes, joining us on Zoom is...
But this is not the first time Donald Trump has deported veterans during his first term
they're
as well.
deporting whoever they think looks deport worthy. That's it.
And when they
that's
say criminals, that's a perfect example. The guy had a minor drug offense decades ago, has been clean and sober for 14 years, but had some problems due to PTSD, which I know a lot of veterans that suffer from PTSD. And
we don't help our veterans. We throw them in the street and leave them to suffer.
Yeah, a lot of them come back from war broken. You know what I mean? A lot of them turn to drugs. Not a lot of them, but some of them turn to drugs. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. So that's what they're calling criminals. Like I remember there's one story about a woman who once wrote a bad check for $20, rectified the situation like in court and all that stuff, got it all cleared up. They deported her as a criminal. Illegal immigrant.
They are arresting people that are showing up for their hearings to be citizens. They are arresting people
oh my God, bro. That's
right
crazy.
before they give the oath of citizenship. They are not arresting criminals and thugs and rapists and gang members. And you know why? Because before all this started, their favorite gang to talk about is MS-13, who are a very violent and horrible plague on this country. But I'll tell you one thing. If they even found that they captured one MS-13 gang member and deported him, that would be all over mainstream news. It would be all anything that Kristi Noem would be talking about, and Donald Trump would be slurring his way through trying to use that as proof.
They're not even sending
But they're
ICE.
not going after anyone.
Right. They're not even sending ICE into those neighborhoods. Like,
No.
you think they're going to go to, like, Compton?
Well, you know why they're not
Get
sending.
fucked up
You
if
know
they
why they're
line
not
up.
sending ICE into those neighborhoods? Because, as we've covered before, a bunch of untrained scumbags that don't know how to use the weaponry they're given are going to get mowed down if they go into any of those neighborhoods.
Yeah, they literally are giving people that can barely read or write state-of-the-art weapons and technology. But that's why ICE is going to fail. One, they can't get anybody to join. And, people are afraid they're going to get called out, which they should be. You know what I mean? If you participate in ICE or get hired by ICE or whatever, I don't care. I hope they hold you accountable in the future. I really do, because you were part of the Gestapo. And I think everybody needs to be held accountable this time. That's one thing America doesn't do good is accountability for rich people, rich and powerful people.
Or accountability for high crimes. How about that?
Yeah. It seems like if you have enough money, you can get away with pretty much anything. So, I don't know. All right, anyway, let's watch. This is another Kristi Noem again being questioned, or not really being questioned, but just being told that she's abusing her power, which she absolutely 100% is.
So I'll ask you this. Is Trump embarrassed by your tenure, or is this exactly the kind of god-awful leadership he wants at DHS? Yes or no?
Ma'am, we've already conducted more oversight visits.
No. It's a yes or no. Yes or no. Okay, Secretary Noem, this is my time to talk, not your time to talk. I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. Chair, I reclaim my time. Secretary Noem, DHS is breaking the law, hiding information from Congress and shutting out oversight. So let me ask you, how can the American people trust your department with you at the helm with this kind of behavior?
The American people absolutely trust this department to keep them safe. And we are showing that every day by the support we get across the country, the amount of people that we're recruiting to all of our different agencies.
Thank you, Secretary Noem. Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
Excuse me, would you say that
You
again?
would have heard me if you stopped talking and listened to my questions. Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
We are not doing that. We are out there enforcing the law, doing our work, and we are allowing oversight.
Of course, we're not going to get any answers. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
They are in full fascist mode. They are just pushing their narrative. They will never address any questions directly. They are criminals of the highest order that are taking the power of this government and abusing it to arrest citizens, people who are here maybe illegally, but that's a civil infraction even at the federal level. That's not a technical crime.
It's not a felony.
They are using the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Justice, Immigration Enforcement. They are using all of these agencies to terrorize brown neighborhoods. That's it. They aren't going into a single gang neighborhood. They aren't going after any criminals. They are taking people that have fruit stands on the side of the road and ripping them away from their children, leaving children without their parents on the side of the road. That's what they're doing. Okay, they are not keeping anyone safe.
Yeah, they mostly target women and children. You'll see more videos of ICE accosting women and children than you will
anyone else.
Anyone else, because they're cowards. They're punks. They want to play soldier and act like they're tough with their masks on. There's one sheriff. Like, I agree. Like, if somebody comes at me in a mask and they don't identify themselves or give me any reason why they,
my elbow is going to be at the bridge of their nose.
I'm going into self-defense mode because I'm going to assume you're just somebody pretending to be a cop, because that's what's happening too. And like places like Minnesota, like the people are dressing up, pretending to be ICE agents, and then straight up robbing or beating people, or raping.
And you know what the irony is? Doing that, they're no different than the ICE agents themselves, because the ICE agents are criminals. Every single person who considers himself an ICE agent is a criminal and an enemy of the state and an enemy of the United States of America, an enemy of freedom. Sorry.
They're hiring actual criminals. There was a guy that had to take a day off from training because he had to go to court for a pending gun charge. That's what they're hiring at DHS. Morons and criminals and white supremacists. We know where Proud Boys are and Oath Keepers because y'all been awfully goddamn quiet since the election.
I was just going to say, since the election, we haven't heard a single peep from them.
Y'all got pardoned for seditious conspiracy and you're not out in the streets partying? Yeah, you're wearing a mask and have an ICE uniform on. I guarantee it.
Yep.
Guarantee it. Watch, one day it's going to come out that people like Enrique Intario, what's that dumbass that shot his own eye out?
Oh,
he would be probably
yeah.
pretty easy to spot.
I'm gonna say that his name is something Crenshaw, Ben Crenshaw. I could be full of it.
I
on
can't.
that,
I
but that
can't
sounds
remember
familiar.
his name.
Anyway,
though,
yeah.
yeah.
The point
He
is
literally
they're
shot his own
putting
eye
these
out.
people that were all in prison for sedition, okay, and all these January 6 convicts. Where do you think they
Right.
went? They're
Right.
all ICE agents now.
Yeah, they're all making government paychecks now. People that the government normally would never even look at as an applicant. They would laugh at your application. Now
Do they get free health care?
Yeah, government funded.
Do ICE agents get free health care? Because that is
I bet it's probably
some
not free,
kick in
but
the
I'm
asshole.
sure as a government employee, you get pretty goddamn good healthcare options. So, well, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Anyway, here's another video. This is when Kristi Noem walks out of the hearing, and you're not going to believe what she does when she leaves the hearing. Like, I was blown away.
You're
actually.
used to
This is
politicians kissing babies.
Yeah, now they use them as human shields. But here's
I apologize. The gentleman's time has expired. I know the secretary has to leave, and I would now recognize the gentlelady from Texas, Ms. Johnson, for 5 minutes of questions.
This is what happens when the truth.
I'm just going to take the position that she's scared of my questions. Mr. Chairman,
So they literally just walked out of the hearing, mid-hearing. Oh, I can't hear you, Mike.
Keep in mind, when you or I have a job and we have to go to a performance review, we don't get to walk out of it and just go, I'm not answering any of your questions. Because what people don't understand is Kristi Noem doesn't answer to Donald Trump. How about this? Kristi Noem answers to Donald Trump. The head of the Department of Homeland Security answers to the American people via congressional oversight. That is how our government works. If you don't want our government to work that way, you are not a democracy-loving American citizen. You are someone who wants fascism.
Yeah.
So when Kristi Noem walks out of being questioned by Congress, that is the equivalent of you telling your boss, fuck off, I'm going to lunch and I'll be back afterwards.
Right.
That's what that is.
Right. So here is the video that had me, like, when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, she brought a baby human shield, bro.
Who had the
when
baby?
Elon Musk, like, you never saw Elon Musk with his kids. Ever, right? Like, he's got like a gazillion kids, got a broken dick, but got a gazillion kids. Never saw him with his kids until fucking Luigi shot that CEO, the United Healthcare CEO. All of a sudden, Elon Musk is wearing his kid like a freaking bulletproof vest around his head. All right, so here's the same thing. Because Kristi Noem and them, they're terrified. Because I can tell you they're terrified because all of them are living on military bases. They have left their lavish home lifestyle and have chosen the security of a military base. That's how scared they are. I think Kristi Noem thinks Antifa is trying to kill her, even though I think they truly believe in their heads that all the stuff they made up is actually real.
There's no, you make a good point because there's a fine line when it comes to fascism to people that are just doing what they're doing to gain power, but then some of them believe the rhetoric. Some of them do, and especially when it comes to Trump, it's hard to know which ones are the faithful and which ones are just scumbags. I don't know.
So I think Kristi Noem's terrified of being assassinated, I think, because here she is just carrying a baby out of a congressional hearing.
So this was the congressional hearing she just ran out of, right? She just ran out and someone handed her a baby. And
it's
said,
like, here, have a baby.
Have a baby.
Whose baby is this? I know she said she brought her family, but goddamn, the baby?
Oh, but...
Literally using a baby, bro. That's wild work.
Just wait, that lady she's talking to gets a selfie after the baby goes. She's done with the baby. Hold on. Someone take this baby. I think it.
Here, take my shield. Hold my shield.
Take my shield. Now I'm gonna take a selfie.
Yep, I need a selfie. Whose fucking baby is that, bro? Who? I want to know whose baby it is. Is it related to her? I love the crowd. Y'all protest, man. a special place in my heart for people like that I run up in a congressional hearing and be like, "Fuck you."
Well, thank you, Pamela. The one-eyed leader of the Oath Keepers was Stuart Rhodes. I don't know where I was coming up with that name.
The Cyclops. Yeah, dumbass literally shot his own eye out, bro. I fucking laughed my ass off when I heard that story. I'm like, so appropriate. Gun nut shoots own eye out. Just
about right.
Appropriate as hell, right? So that's what we're dealing with, though. We have made-up terrorist organizations. That is the Fed's number one focus. Not solving Charlie Kirk's murder. Not worried about another attack on American soil or Al-Qaeda or Hamas or anybody.
Or the IDF.
A made-up organization called Antifa that they made up, just like Obamacare. Remember how they made up Obamacare just to make MAGA hate it? You know what I mean?
The best part about Obamacare was the Affordable Care Act was a real thing, but they knew they couldn't call it that and malign it, so they had to call it something else.
Right, because it has the word affordable and care in it. You know what I mean? Like,
we can't call it that. So at least they were hating on a piece of legislation. This now is just their own bullshit rhetorical story that they're using to gain power. That's it.
I can't play the video on YouTube because it'll get copywritten, but I did a video on, I found a video on Instagram, and it's a video that Disney put out in 1947 that shows how Hitler used his propaganda, fear, like love bombing his people, because Donald Trump will sit there and send emails out, be like, "I love you. Do you love me?" Like weird shit. Like, but it really shows that they are playing the exact same playbook. They have targeted the less intelligent population of America. I'll be nice today.
Donald Trump loves the uneducated.
The uneducated, and they have targeted them, and they've gone after their fears, and they've gone after their anger and their racism, and they've used all these as an effective weapon. But you got to keep in mind, though, online Trump support is not real.
No, it's all bot.
Trump support is probably 40% real people and 60% bots, and that even might be generous. You know what I'm saying?
It's all bots.
Yeah. So in real life, Donald, he does not have the amount of support that he gives off that the administration tells you they do. They really don't. People hate his guts. People hate his guts. They see how incompetent they are. They see how corrupt they are. And then they're seeing that making America great again consists of basically just appeasing all of our enemies. It's like give all of our enemies money is somehow going to make America great.
How about this? How about this? Making America great again sounds a little like bullshit when Russia is saying that the national security strategy Trump has laid out for the United States is in line with Russian security policy.
Did you know Donald Trump
shouldn't be in line with Russia?
Did you know Donald Trump wants to join BRICS now? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to be part of it now. So we may actually leave the current way we do things as a world order. He's trying to join up with like Russia and China and all them to get in on this because China wants to make their currency the world currency. And honestly, even if the dollar fails, these rich people are going to stay rich.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
doesn't
They're not going to
matter.
lose shit. Elon Musk could lose 99% of his wealth and still be a billionaire.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They'll be the first people that have the resources, the wherewithal, and the foreknowledge to be able to transfer over to whatever currency is the new world order.
Bro, we just talked about it. Like Peter Thiel knows something's coming. The dude just sold all of his NVIDIA stock and almost all of his Tesla stock. The only reason you would do that, because NVIDIA was one of the highest performing stocks of this year. The only reason you would sell that stock is you knew there's a bubble about to pop. I guarantee there's going to be a massive crash in the stock market. And it's all being held up right now by hype. Like Donald Trump is pushing AI. We're going to put hundreds of gazillions of dollars into AI. So when he says that, AI stock prices go through the roof. He doesn't have to build shit.
Nope.
Our whole stock market is built up by hype and maybe eventually results. You know what I mean? But Donald Trump knows how to do the rug pull now. You know what I mean? I feel like he's going to do a giant rug pull by using the American economy and just walk away filthy fucking rich. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I'm wrong on that one. But I do see something massive coming next year with the economy.
Well, the
But let's
economy
talk
is
about
being built on something that doesn't exist. AI isn't a thing. It's a fast fucking search engine. It's not
that's all it
artificial
is, right.
intelligence.
That's literally all it is. So, all right, let's moving on. Let's talk about the Trump family. We're going to talk about the Epstein photos that were just released, but I want to talk about something I felt was disturbing enough to discuss, and that is the fact that Barron Trump is secretly devoted to women haters. He is a fan.
Well, he was the target audience for the brosphere, the manosphere.
Yeah. President Donald Trump's youngest son is a fan of a woman-hating influencer accused of rape and human trafficking. Barron Trump, 19, admired divisive manosphere figure, Andrew Tate, and spoke with him last year. Their mutual friend Justin Waller told the New York Times. Waller, a close ally of Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan, identified himself as their third brother on top of playing a big brother to
Holy
Barron.
shit. I just realized.
Isn't that sick?
Holy shit. You know how Trump is pushing AI and crypto because Barron told him to? And like the reason before the election that Donald Trump went on like Joe Rogan and other of these shows is because Barron told him to, because Barron is already being compromised by the manosphere.
Yep.
When Donald Trump rescued Andrew Tate from Romania, who do you think put him up to it? I guarantee you Barron was like, Dad, this poor guy is being accused of things that he didn't do. Could you save him for me?
Exactly.
Because what kind of parent is okay with their son even associating remotely with a known accused sex trafficker, human trafficker, rapist? Like,
that's
I don't
not
understand.
Allegedly. Like Andrew Tate has admitted to all this shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like he is quite literally admitted to raping women and enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie. We've played the audio. We've played the audio on the show. But here's the headline. All you need to read right here. Andrew Tate suggested the Trump administration helped him flee Romania. We called this. We called this, and he got a private jet back to the United States, probably at the taxpayer expense. Amazing, right? So this rapist, this woman beater, obviously hates women. To me, Andrew Tate is another example of a self-hating, closeted gay dude who probably has a secret Grindr profile. This guy is now living in America, influencing the president of the United States' son.
And the president himself. He's causing the president to make decisions.
Right. Donald Trump admires people like this.
Yep.
If you abuse women, if you're a misogynist pig, Donald Trump will love you.
And if you can get rich off being a piece of shit, he loves you even more.
Yeah, so that is where Barron is at right now. Barron Trump is a piece of shit too, okay? He's fair game, dude. Kid's, 19 years now?
Yep,
fuck Barron Trump. The kid's a fucking piece of shit. Probably following his dad's footsteps.
Well, how the hell would he have any chance of growing up any different than him?
None. Zero. Especially with his neurotic mom, dude. That woman is a nightmare. There's something about what's her name? What the hell's her name?
Melania?
First lady? Melania, yeah. She is so weird, bro. She is so weird. Not to mention, half the time Donald Trump has a woman that kind of looks like Melania, but kind of doesn't. Like, people are saying there's body doubles. This whole family is fucked, man. This whole family is just weird, gross, corrupt to the core. And these new photos kind of prove it if you want to go through some of those. We can talk about it, man, because this gets pretty gnarly, and there's a lot of people involved.
What's really something to think about with these photos is the right is convinced that the left just wants to attack Donald Trump when it comes to the Epstein thing. And nothing could be farther from the truth. We want everyone involved with Jeffrey Epstein to be investigated.
Why is it so hard?
And if necessary, prosecuted.
Why is it so hard, man?
And I'm going to show you, because this latest group of photos, it wasn't like it focused on Donald Trump. There was a couple of Trump photos in there. I mean, we've seen plenty of photos with Trump, but it's who else is associated with Jeffrey Epstein. So
first, here's the thing, though, I want Trump supporters to realize about us leftists. We are not fans of anyone enough to be able to support this shit.
No. If Bernie Sanders had a picture with Jeffrey Epstein, I would suggest that they investigate him. It's,
you know what I'm saying?
Really
like, I am not a
simple.
fan of anybody on this planet that I would be willing to go in the comments of somebody's post and be like, well, you can't prove
Well,
like,
you make a point. That's the fundamental difference. On the left, there's no one we wouldn't turn on if evidence suggested they were criminals.
Right.
The right assumes that their heroes are untouchable and infallible and would never accept anything against them. Right. That's the difference. You worship your people. We look at them as fallible human beings. There's a very big difference. So,
as it should be.
One of the most important ones that I think is on there is a picture of Jeff Epstein and Steve Bannon. Now, Steve Bannon has famously said that if the Republicans lose the House in 26 and lose the presidency in 28, that him and a lot of people are going to prison. And yeah, there might be a lot of prison time ahead for Steve Bannon regarding sedition and January 6th, but when it comes to associating with Jeffrey Epstein, I think there's a few more questions. Now, one thing that I thought was interesting about this photo that many outlets were nice enough to point out, because I didn't notice this just from looking at this photo. But if you look at the corner of his desk between Bannon and that other monitor, there's a photo there that's a little indistinguishable. Let me blow it up for you. Now, there are better versions of this that show clearly a woman whose legs are there exposed. She's slumped over on a couch, and that black box was put there by the Department of Justice, meaning this is a victim of Jeffrey Epstein or potentially one of his associates, and it is on his desk while he's talking to Steve Bannon.
Yeah, I made a video about this because I saw that shit and it creeped me out. Like, they keep that stuff around like family photos.
Yep.
Like where you would have pictures of your dog or your wife and kids or family. They have pictures of victims. That's sick, bro.
Now,
that's sick.
Another picture that I think, this is all speculation, but this is Jeff Epstein in a bubble bath. And I just find it interesting.
Scarface.
Yeah, right. I find it interesting. If he was actually submerged in a bubble bath, why is he pulling the curtain like that? Who's he hiding behind that curtain? Well, maybe they have this glove on. We already showed this picture, but who knows? Maybe maybe this is medical procedure and they were checking Epstein's prostate.
The love glove, the check your prostate. That's what it is. That's what it is.
So,
prostate checker.
The reason that I am against all billionaires is because none of them are good people. Take, for example, Richard Branson, right? Everyone knows who that is. Here he is with Jeff Epstein and some other guy. What are they doing together? Okay, fine. That's creepy. Let's look at some of Trump. Here's another one we see of Trump hanging out with him. Him and Jeffrey Epstein were best friends. This comes from Jeffrey Epstein's mouth. Obviously, Donald Trump would deny it. But one thing that I find interesting is photos of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein in various states of undressed with girls of indeterminate age.
Yeah, that's creepy, dude.
That's pretty fucking creepy.
There is zero chance that girl on the top left is 18.
No, there's no way.
There's literally zero chance.
And what worries me even more is that Jeff Epstein had photos of Trump-branded condoms.
Right. We all know this is a lie. According to Stormy Daniels, dude literally has just the tip. And, that was a problem. You know what's fucking funny about that? Hitler had the same problem. Me and Amanda were talking about this. Hitler had like some kind of micro penis complex. Like, he's serious. So Donald Trump literally put out a condom with his face on it and says, "I'm huge." Like, the creepy, bro. Creepy. You're at a underage sex parties and you're making your own condoms.
Like, that's creepy as fuck.
Right.
All right, who else do we got? Well, we had Richard Branson. Okay, what about Bill Gates with Prince Andrew? Now, I think people are not putting enough stock into the fact that a royal
step down.
And royals are historically known for being the sluttiest, disgusting, despicable humans you'll ever meet.
Right.
A royal was kicked out of the royal family due to the association with Jeffrey Epstein. Photos were released, and the royal family went, "Get the fuck out."
You know, you look at Bill Gates, though, and you're like, yeah,
I see that. But here's the thing. All of these photos the right would use as plenty of evidence to condemn all the men in these photos.
Right.
Yet, there are more photos of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein than Jeffrey Epstein with anyone else.
Or Donald Trump with anyone else.
Or Donald Trump with anyone else, especially his own kids.
Right.
And yet the right does not use that as proof that Donald Trump is a pedophile. It's
Right. They're like, well, Bill Clinton's in there. We don't care. We don't care. Lock him up. He's disgusting.
Now,
he deserves to go to prison.
This last one that I chose chilled me to my core. And I wasn't the only one that thought about this. I modified a meme for my own purposes, but I'll show you the image first. The one on the right is just another one of Epstein and Bannon. That's creepy. But Steve Bannon and Woody Allen in Jeffrey Epstein's photo dump. Now, Woody Allen is known to be a pervert, a statutory rapist.
Has been for a long time.
And a creep. And when I saw this photo, it blew my mind. Because the woman that he is married to now, he met as a little tiny child.
That's gross. That's gross, bro.
This is what the rich do with their money, their power, and their influence.
Buy people.
They buy people.
Yep.
Maybe the movie Hostel wasn't too far off from the truth.
I mean, really. It's hard.
Whoa,
here's the thing. These things are indefensible, but yet MAGA still decides.
Who knows? And this is me just being a horror movie fan. But, let's face it. If Jeffrey Epstein had an island where he systematically trafficked and raped underage women, haha, I'm kidding. They're called girls. Okay, MAGA, they're called girls.
Right,
if
girls.
Jeffrey Epstein had an island where he systematically raped girls and trafficked in them, you think one or two of them didn't fight back, and one or two of the people that paid a lot of money to be there didn't treat them a little rough and maybe ended one of their lives? Do you think that never happened on the creepy rape island?
That's sick. I never
Come
even
on.
thought. No, that's a good point. I never even thought about that. They had a whole island dedicated to raping children. It's not far-fetched to think that they may have killed a few of them and buried them on that island.
I'm sorry, if you're going to rape
That's
a
not
child, if you're going to do that,
reaching.
if
You're
that's
not reaching
something
on
that you think is reasonable, that you're willing to pay for and engage in, I don't think that someone who's willing to rape a child is taking that much more of a leap to murder them. Because
what if they contacted Jeffrey Epstein and been like, "Hey, I want to rape and murder a child." I wouldn't put it past these people.
I'm sure there was a price.
All right, I'll set it up. You know what
How
I'm
about
saying?
this? It's always easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. So, Jeff, I just had a mistake in room 242. Do you want to send the cleanup crew?
Right. That's crazy. That is not, I mean, yeah, the thing, because I keep putting videos out where I need people to understand, like, if you're going to call Donald Trump a fascist, just like you're going to call Donald Trump a pedo, like, if you're going to call Donald Trump a fascist, you have to accept the fact that he is, well, because every fascist and dictator in world history has murdered people or hurt people to get their way. So
staging false flag incidents,
right?
Staging assassinations, using assassination. Look at Putin. How many people fall out of buildings in Russia that happened to be someone that Putin didn't like? Come on.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like, they're talking about that the recent incident in Australia where someone attacked a Hanukkah event, and they were trying so hard. They're going to try so hard to spin that as anti-Semitism and Jewish people are under attack, but they're going to forget to mention that a Muslim dude saved the day.
How about this? I didn't get a chance. Right before the show, I saw one post about this, and I have not seen more, so I cannot say that this is 100% accurate. But if it is, I saw a post that said the person that did the shooting, okay, the guy that shot all those Jewish people in Australia, was an ex-IDF soldier. Now, I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I don't know.
Wow, if that is, that would absolutely be a false flag.
That would blow up a few narratives, huh?
Yeah, plus a Muslim man saved the day. It took 2 rounds while trying to save people's lives.
Because don't forget, Australia is an interesting place because they have a lot more influence by what they don't do, how they carry themselves. If they could start to destabilize Australia the way they destabilize the U.S., there's not many places left where democracy has a true stronghold.
No, this
because
country is truly
if Donald Trump's new security strategy is to let Europe fend for itself, Europe isn't going to survive very long.
No, God, no. So, all right, moving on to Donald Trump. He, of course, continues to embarrass America. Here's a video where he thanks Colombia for selling us their cocaine, which I thought was weird. Like, when I saw this video, I was like, this can't be real. This cannot be real. No, Donald Trump actually thanked Colombia for selling or thanked Colombia for selling Don Jr. their cocaine.
I hear Colombia, the country of Colombia, is making cocaine. They have cocaine manufacturing plants, okay? And then they sell us their cocaine. We appreciate that very much. But yeah, anybody that's doing that and selling it into our country is subject to attack.
First he says, we appreciate you selling us your cocaine. And then he says, if you sell us your cocaine, we're going to attack you. Okay, buddy. Okie dokie.
So you know what's interesting? That opens up some international intrigue, because if he's saying entities operating within a country mean that a country could be subject to attack, then what about all the gun trafficking that happens inside the U.S. that gets outside the U.S.? Because then other countries could just start attacking us.
Right. What about China? They are the ones that they make fentanyl. That's where fentanyl was born.
Yep.
But that video is real, and so is this picture. This is a real.
I don't know. How do we know that that's real? That I'm still a little.
Well, it's from
skeptical.
Keith Edwards, and I trust his reporting. So if he says it's real, I'm going to assume it is. But yeah, according to this picture, according to the Keith Edwards post, this photo leaked of Donald Trump using a walker, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense. We showed that video last episode, I think, of Melania literally holding Donald Trump up as he tried to walk to Marine One. So I think Donald Trump's a lot sicker. I think he's dying. I think Donald Trump is dying, and they don't have a backup plan. I think they never considered him dying in this term. They need him to survive his second term in order for them to fully implement it. Because if he dies, it's going to be mad chaos.
Yep.
Complete and utter chaos. J.D. Vance can't control the mob. You know what I mean? They can't. Nobody respects him. He's a muppet. The only person I feel like could have controlled the mob and they would have listened to, they murdered, and that was Charlie Kirk. I think he is the only one that had the attention of the MAGA crowd. Overall.
And that's why he was turning on Israel. They were like, "Oh crap, we can't use him anymore."
Right, and now the people that were listening to him have flocked over to Nick Fuentes, a 27-year-old self-proclaimed virgin who's never been in a relationship,
and a proud Nazi.
And a proud Nazi. So again, but there's a rift. We call it this again, but there's a rift happening right now. There's a civil war happening within MAGA. You have the Make America Great Again crowd, which is pro-Schmizrael. It's Schmizrael first. That's what Make America Great Again really means. Give money to them, and you know that's it. But then you have the America First crowd, which is like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nick Fuentes.
They're basically
actual
the Tea Party.
Nazis. Right. The ones that aren't taking money from this certain country. So there's a massive rift, and there's going to be a huge power vacuum because think of it, they've built their entire identity. This entire movement has been built around one man. They did not build this movement around the Republican Party or any even right-wing ideology. They built this entire movement around Donald Trump. So if he dies during this term, it is going to completely screw up their plans. So I think they're trying to hide it.
The plan was to use MAGA and the supporters to get Donald Trump in power so that the Christian nationalists could implement Project 2025. That's what it is. So there's not only just the America Firsts and the MAGA diehards, there's also the Christian nationalists. There's the rich and powerful. There's all these groups that are going to vie for power once Donald Trump drops dead. And none of them are going to be able to hold any of it together because they're all going to fracture into smaller little cells.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens because there's going to be a fight for the presidency because J.D. Vance will get it. But then what happens after that? Who does he listen to?
Right. Exactly. But I think he's got one foot in the grave. We're going to talk about more on tomorrow's show, but his health is way, way worse than they're letting on. But here's a couple of videos of him just looking like a sad old man. Here's him wearing a cowboy hat that looks like it's 10 sizes too big.
Oh, my God.
For what you've done for our team. Thank you very much.
Let's see, what do I do with that strap?
There you go. Oh my God, how embarrassing is this? You gotta take a picture. Doesn't he look sick though? Like he does not look good.
Well, notice he's very rarely filmed or
never
photographed
standing
standing up. Yep, he's never
He's never
standing
standing
anymore. He can't stand for that long.
No, and again, they bailed out the farmers, which of course the only reason the farmers needed bailed out again.
Well, the corporate farmers.
Right, the big agri got bailed out. The mom and pop farmers are probably still going to lose their farms.
Of course,
which is sad. But again, this happened the first time Donald Trump was in office. It's like, how much you guys are a glutton for punishment. You voted.
Well,
for
what
Trump
happens
once.
is
He bailed you out. You almost lost your farm. You voted for him a second time. He lost. Then you voted for him a third time.
But don't forget what happens here. The big agri loses money. The little farms lose money. Big agri could survive because they're all owned and run by billionaires.
Right.
The little mom and pop shops need to get out of the business, so they sell their farms to big agri who just got money from the bailout.
Right.
And then suddenly there's less and less mom and pop farms and everything is run by big agri. See how it works? It's not that complicated.
That is the plan. You nailed it right on the head. JD Vance is actually involved in a company that goes around the country buying up failing farms.
There you go.
They want it all to be government controlled and government owned. So yeah, antitrust laws no longer.
Planned consolidation. Leftover
is
Joe's
exactly
got
right.
it right. Planned
Yep.
consolidation.
All right. So before I play this last video, I want to thank you guys for all your support this year. It has been a fucking epic year. We have been to New York, DC, Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania, all doing different events and just traveling from state to state. Hopefully next year we get to go a little more national and get to the West Coast, maybe. Go down south, see what's going on there. We want to do some really awesome on-location events next year. This year was all due to your support, your donations. We had some luck on social media, but for the most part, everything has been supported by you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for everything that you've done for us. And if this is your first time watching this, just please subscribe. It's totally free. Share this video so we can break out of this stupid algorithm. Also, upcoming news, we will be featured on Tennessee Brando's podcast in the near future. I'm talking to him about what day we're going to be doing that. Also, I'll be in New Jersey again this week. I'm going to be meeting up with Tom from Fight Against Fascism. We're going to be talking about an event that's coming up in February in D.C., as well as doing some videos together there. So we do have some stuff planned, but as of right now, we don't have any major trips lined up, except for me going to New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll get there once
funny.
Once the spring hits and there's more stuff planned. I mean, we'll see. As stuff pops up, if we make an immediate decision, who knows what's going to happen.
Right, because the day Donald Trump declared martial law in D.C., the next day I think I just got in my car and went to D.C. So we've been known to do dumb shit like that as well. So but anyway, last video before we get the hell out of here and you guys can enjoy the rest of your day. Here's Donald Trump, who got booed at the Army-Navy game, another sporting event at the taxpayer expense. This guy's living the life in government.
Yep.
Like, he is the ultimate welfare queen right now. You know what I'm saying? This
That's
guy's
true.
living a billionaire lifestyle on taxpayer money. That's crazy. Here he is, can't even flip. He looks like he's never flipped a coin before. He looks like he's releasing a bird into the wild. Watch this.
Tails. Army, what is your call?
Tails.
Tails has been called.
And then he points at it when it's done, like, look, I flipped the coin. Watch. Beautiful. Oh my God, he tossed it up.
It is Tails. Army,
Then he points at it, bro.
which way would you like to kick?
He didn't even flip it. He didn't flip the coin. He just
flip the coin.
tossed it into the air. Donald Trump can't even do a fucking coin toss, bro. He literally went like this, like it was a bird. It was like free. And then he pointed at it like, look, I threw coin. It's so pathetic, man. I hate this timeline, dude. I fucking hate it. But anyway, that's the world we live in, okay? We have an incompetent leader who is dying. White House does not want to tell us. We got Erica Kirk out there living off her dead husband's name.
With her evil death eyes.
I'm going to show some of the videos tomorrow because she can't even fake emotions. I feel like she's a sociopath. Like, She cannot fake emotions. She's not a good actress.
No.
Not a good actress. Like every time she does an interview, the right wing is like, I think she killed her husband.
Yeah.
And that's
more
not
and more
me
people
saying
are
it.
like,
This is Trump supporters. Every time she does the interview, they're like, she did it.
Oh yeah, no,
so
it's funny,
bro.
It's funny.
It's backfiring in an epic way. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Yeah, and I will keep you updated on what shows we're going to be doing here in the near future. So, love you all, and have a good rest of your day.